Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of She Social Podcast right here on my YouTube channel. My name is Ms. Cosmo. Thank you so much for joining me every single week for these conversations with these amazing women who come through with such amazing and inspiring stories every single week. This week, definitely no different. I do have two amazing ladies who are going to be joining me as well, chatting about their journeys through music and entertainment. I do have Miss Williams who's joining me, as well as Patty Monroe. So without further ado, we're going to get into our first conversation for today. Miss Williams, how you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you? And hey to your viewers as well.
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining me here on She Social. We're just going to be chatting a little bit about yourself, why we need to pay attention to who Miss Williams is, as well as the things that you've kind of achieved in your tenure here on in the entertainment space in South Africa. So, Miss Williams, for those who don't necessarily know exactly who you are, can you give us a bit of a breakdown?
Okay, so my name is Cindy Williams from the Eastern Cape, East London, and some people know it as Emonti. So basically, I'm a DJ. I wouldn't say I'm new, but it's been 2 years DJing. Before I started DJing, I did events and promotions behind the scenes. So that's basically me. I'm all about entertainment, and I fell in love with music while I was working behind the scenes. So yeah, that's Miss Williams.
Awesome, man. And obviously, one thing that I've always noticed about women who work behind the scenes within the entertainment space always kind of see a gap, and they're always like, "Hi, man, there's something missing there at all the parties that I go to. Maybe I can be the bit of difference." What was it for you that kind of gave you that boost of confidence to say, "I can actually tackle this thing and become a DJ as well"?
Well, I don't know. Well, it wasn't really about seeing a gap, but it was more about wanting to have that experience and wanting to go through the experience, wanting to know how it's like to share music with people. So that's basically what I wanted and what I saw in the market when it comes to events and promotions. So I just wanted to be a part of it, like inside, like Pagati, and also for the audience. To be seen as well. So that was basically my thing, to share and be seen.
Definitely, and I think it's important for people to share and be seen as well, especially because in this entertainment space, everybody's kind of fighting for the spotlight, everybody's fighting to be noticed, and we're all trying to make sure that we can make our piece of the pie at the end of the day. But one thing you mentioned as well is that you are involved in events and promotions. How did you get into the eventing space? Because I know that's a very difficult space to kind of tackle, especially in South Africa, because if you don't do it correctly, you can either make it or you can break it. And a lot of the time, people don't realize a lot of investment goes into events, but not a lot of profit is made unless you've literally hit the formula on the nail.
Yeah, you're right. So basically, when it comes to events, I run a company called Lima Events and Promotions. So we basically do the marketing side, the activation side, and placing the event in the city, whether if it's in a small town or not. So we do activations and not actually run the event and say it's mine. No, I just used to come on board with already existing events. And also we would also we would speak to our clients and try to help them not to lose money and just give them a better way of having and hosting the event in the specific cities, mostly in the Eastern Cape. So we weren't really hosting events. Hosting events is a lot of stress. But I know that I'm doing that now, though. Funny that you asked me, because I was so afraid of hosting my own event. I was so afraid because I knew the stress it came with. Remember, I was working with event owners, event organizers, and I was like, okay, well, I don't think I'm ready for this kind of stress yet. So then I kind of grew into it, especially with being a DJ. I was like, hey, girl, you're gonna have to start doing your own events anyways. So it's bound to happen. So yeah.
But that's good because you're also kind of challenging yourself to try something different. You're challenging yourself to kind of get into a space to grow yourself as a person, grow yourself as a brand as well, and see how far you can kind of take it. Because you do have the experience at the end of the day, working with an existing still teaches you certain things that you can now implement in your own events and then see how it can come to fruition. You know what I mean? All right. So you say that you're from East London. You mentioned that a little bit earlier, but you have come to Johannesburg a couple of times to obviously kind of plug yourself in as a DJ and work on certain things this side as well. How do you find the difference in the entertainment and eventing space from East London compared to Johannesburg?
Yo, there's a major difference. I always tell like my peers from back home, East London, there's a lot of opportunities obviously here in Johannesburg. There's a different way of working. People are very, in Johannesburg, people are very spot on, and they make decisions like now. And as opposed to East London, people always want to slack. They want to just take time to make decisions, take time just for just making, I mean, doing a specific task and getting it done now. So that's the difference between here and there. In Eastern Cape, it's a bit slow, very, very slow. And here it's faster and you learn a lot. I've learned a lot in the 2 years that I've been here. And also what I also just want to say is from the difference in East London and Johannesburg, it also gives one, this thing that, pressure, it gives you pressure. So it gives you kind of like, you're like, okay, I'm in Joburg now. And then you see other people doing like different things. And you're like, now you want to do all these things. So it basically really doesn't work like that. You just need to take your time. And yeah, you just need to take your time and do your research. So that's the difference between East London and Johannesburg. Fast life this side, very slow that side.
Yeah, it is a slow life. But I mean, outside of it being more chilled compared to the hustle and bustle of Johannesburg, surely things like technology and entertainment has kind of increased the pace just a little bit for people to also want to be on time and on point with what's happening in the rest of the world. Obviously, people obviously have TVs and internet, so the music comes out, but not necessarily the eventing space. What do you think? Yeah. What do you think could kind of change things heavily for East London to also become like an entertainment hub for the Eastern Cape? And I ask this because I know East London is buzzing in December. It becomes the dirty East. Yeah, I'm doing come home. But then what do you think is necessary for East London to also kind of get on the map for the rest of the year and not necessarily only in 1 month of the year?
Honestly, event organizers, venue owners need to start investing in their DJs, in the artists, because they're not investing in their DJs, they're not investing in their artists. They only kind of like use them to attract people, which is fine, but then to a certain extent. So they don't really invest in their DJs, and when they're not invested in, then they're not interested in playing. You know what I mean? And I'm speaking about money and payments. You know, so that's a big issue in the Eastern Cape. A lot of DJs, a lot of artists are not getting paid. So then it becomes like, okay, dead during the year. And then when it comes with December, then everyone from Joburg, Cape Town, Durban comes back home. And then that's when like those people start hosting events. And most of the people who host events are people who are not staying in East London. They are from East London, but then they would host events in our hometown. So yeah, I mean, the event organizers and the venue owners in East London just need to invest throughout the year.
Yeah. So obviously you being in Johannesburg now, you've come to kind of plow yourself within Joburg to kind of see how you can grow yourself as a DJ. How has the lockdown been for you? Because obviously COVID came and kind of put everything on a bit of a block, especially from an eventing perspective, outside of just even being a DJ perspective. How are you kind of maneuvering around this time right now for you to be able to survive, number one, and number two, also try and stay healthy, because COVID is still a real thing that we still have to face, even though we are at level 2 at the moment.
Okay, so the first month, if I could say, when COVID started, I was literally, I didn't believe it. I don't know if anyone was like me, but I was like, okay, this thing's gonna pass now, you know. Yeah. And it was my birthday. My birthday was in April, I remember. And I planned like a birthday tour for the whole month for April. So everything was just on standby. So I was basically in denial. The first stage was in denial, and then I just realized, okay, you know what, this thing is staying, and I need to do something about it. So I would say, luckily for me, in January, prior to COVID, in January, I started a journey of being vegan.
Oh,
So
wow.
I stopped, yeah, so I stopped eating meat and all dairy products.
I would
So
never.
I stopped. So I started, but you will trust me. I will talk about it
Mm.
after this. So I started being vegan, and then I saw a gap. I was like, okay, well, firstly, restaurants are not doing the menus; they're not catering for vegans. So I was like, okay, number one, that's a gap. And then I then started a project called Beetroot. Actually, the project was inspired by music. I wanted to do a music YouTube show, but then I was like, ish, but everyone's doing it, you know. Then I was like, actually, let me just focus on the nutrition and the wellness side of my life. So then that's when I introduced the whole project. So I just kept busy with the project, with the beetroot project, with the health and wellness, teaching people how to eat properly and how to have the proper meal plans. And also regarding to COVID, because it actually links. So the meal plans are plant-based, and they actually help fight any disease. So it was, yeah, so I kept busy with that. I got clients through the beetroot project. And yeah, I just started being a wellness coach and a nutritionist.
Has this always been a thing that you wanted to get into with regards to being a vegan? Because it's not something that, and it's not that I'm being, I don't know, maybe I'm being prejudiced by saying this, but it's not necessarily like a black person thing. And I say this trying to be as sensitive as possible because yabazi abantu abamnyama bathanda inyama. So it's one of those like, okay, why did you make this decision for yourself? It's not that it's wrong.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to understand the thinking for you to say, okay, I want to be healthier. This is the direction I'm going to take, as opposed to just taking a healthier option to what you eat, maybe eating white meat as opposed to eating the skins and things like that. Because veganism, number one, is it needs a lot of discipline, but it's also very expensive. So you're getting into a very expensive lifestyle during a time when there's no money.
everyone says it's expensive. It's not expensive at all. If you guys follow follow my beetroot page on Instagram, I actually posted a video of a homemade garden. I was home last week. I was in PE, so I actually wanted to show you guys, because I've been getting a lot of comments saying, it's expensive, and it's not. You're literally eating plant-based food. You're eating veggies, right? So I don't understand how veggies can be expensive. And then also I get you stop eating meat, so you get that budget that you were having to eat meat, like let's say 500, for example, you were spending on dairy products and meat. So you use that budget that you were spending on dairy products and meat, and you just either you take it away and buy more food, or you can save that specific that 500 rand that you were buying your meat and dairy products. So it's not expensive. And then we do have what you call these supplements that you have to buy to put in your smoothies and other and your food, for example. Those supplements, you buy them once off. So you just have to make sure you get the supplements and you buy them once off, and you eat your veggies. So it's not expensive. It isn't at all. It's a myth.
I
It's a
guess
myth.
so. I guess so. You know what? I think a lot of people who have complained about it being expensive have rather than gone the route of getting prepackaged meals or things that have already been easier placed for people to purchase so that they don't have to think as to how they're going to cook their vegan meals without having to
Yeah, the
get a little
meals.
bit further. But maybe it's one of those things that we need to kind of, check out a little bit more, and you can at least give us a little bit more information about that, especially through your new page. And we're going to try and check it out, and obviously we'll see if we can tackle it, especially now, because we need to be healthier. We need to boost our immune systems, especially with COVID, because
Exactly.
I think the natural remedies are fighting the disease a lot faster than trying to just beat it with, like, I don't know, medication from the pharmacy.
So we should actually just start using our own remedies more and eating more plant-based food, and you'll start to feel better. And you won't even need to fight. Honestly speaking, you won't even need to fight any virus. Honestly.
Really?
So that's what veganism is about. that's what it's all about. I'll send you a few links actually on your WhatsApp, and you'll get to find out more about the plant-based life.
Okay. Well, I'll surely share the links with the viewers as well, just in case they're quite interested with regards to veganism and how it can kind of change their lives as well. But getting back to you and the DJ life, obviously things have kind of come to a halt where nobody's working at the time, and you've innovated and you've thought of different ways for you to kind of move yourself. How important is it for you to still be able to maintain your brand as Miss Williams, especially during this time? Because if you're not gigging, then some people have kind of taken a little bit of a backseat and been like, okay, well, I can't move, so maybe my brand also needs to take a backseat. How important is it for you to still be visible for people to know who you are?
Yo, it's so important. It's such a good question because, as I mentioned before, when COVID started, a lot of us were in denial. And obviously time went by, and during the denial stage, a lot of people were probably quiet and then started coming out. Well, I'll speak about myself. So I started coming out, and I was like, let me just start doing shoots. Let me do interviews. Let me start doing mixes. Let me just actually spend time doing a lot of mixes and knocking doors so that my mixes can start playing on other radio stations. I feel like we just need to find ways of being out there. Even if you like do a little clip outside, and then post it and tag your friends or whatever. So it's very important for you to start to remain active with the lockdown that's happening. And yeah, that's basically the things I was doing. I was just trying to remain active and being a part of my viewers' everyday life, and just being there, keeping quiet and feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah. I hear you. I see you've got a microphone there behind you. Are you working on some new music? Are you producing stuff? Is that something that you've been working on since we've all been sitting at home, so we've got so much time to kind of pick up new skills. Are you going to be behind the mic, or what's going on there?
Girl, I've been working on a few things. I've started doing voiceovers. That's one thing. And the second thing is I'm working on 2 singles with Mr. Lou. One was with Mr. Lou and MSK. And then the second one, I don't know. Okay, so the second one is I'll let you guys know who it is. Okay. So I am working on 2 singles, and the first one is Mr. Lou and MSK. That's the first one that's going to come out. Okay. And then the second one, I'll be able to mention who it is once everything is done. I'm trying to learn how to produce. I've downloaded Ableton. Okay. So yeah, I'm learning.
One moment at a time, babes. Don't rush yourself. But it's good that you've actually taken the step to say, okay, let me at least try. Because it's not easy. Like, a lot of people look at it and feel like you just press buttons. It's really not that easy. But shout out to you.
Not at all.
Shout out to you for at least trying and attempting and seeing how you can kind of further your skills. And I think we're also quite excited to hear the music, because it's nice to get more female producers in the game, because that's what we want to see, is more women kind of taking over the entertainment space and seeing how we can spread our wings just a little bit more. But thank you so much, Ms. Williams. I think we're also just going to find out a little bit more about your Beetroot campaign. Like I said, I'm going to post the links. What more can we look forward to from you as a DJ? Obviously, the next couple of months are a little bit shaky, but maybe going into 2021, outside of the music, what else can we look forward to from you?
Dancing.
Ooh.
You guys should look forward to dancing. Yeah, like that's one of the other things that I've always wanted to do, to dance.
Are you a young Kamumpela there? What's going on?
Lalela Chonga. And for no but okay, so you can look out for dancing, a lot of voiceover work. What else? Oh, and obviously the wellness and limit. Oh yes, guys, and definitely looking forward to being a part of 5FM.
Yeah. Oh.
So please vote for me this coming weekend on DJ Lloyd's show.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's so awesome. All right, cool. So you're in the running to possibly be a resident DJ, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, girl. I wish, like, I'm actually hoping. Actually, it's gonna happen.
Yes.
Let me speak it into existence. Yes, let me speak into existence. Let's do that.
Definitely. All right, cool. So hopefully we'll be hearing more from you. We'll be excited to hear the music as it drops. Of course, we're gonna check out the Beetroot campaign as well, and just more events as they come through. So you did say you're working on events of your own. When the doors
Yes.
open, hopefully they'll be open very soon. Then we'll be able to be out there and we'll be able to enjoy the summer like we usually do, because it's hot now and it's great to still be indoors. So we're just wishing on a stick. We're hoping and praying and crossing fingers that things are going to get a little bit better. But thank you so much for your time, Ms. Williams. I do appreciate you joining us here on She Social. And of course, keep on pushing, man. We need the female agenda to be taken seriously. And you're one of those people who have always supported women in entertainment. So I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much for the opportunity and the platform to showcase who DJ Miss Williams is.
Yes. And we're gonna keep on following you. Where do we follow you on social media?
So you guys can check me on Instagram. It's DJ Miss Williams, and Twitter Miss Williams _DJ, and Facebook is Miss Williams. So it's Facebook Miss Williams, Instagram DJ Miss Williams, Twitter Miss Williams _DJ. Beetroot is the wellness nutrition page that I was speaking about, and that is on Instagram for now only. So it's Beetroot, and you spell it with a beat, BEAT, and then root, ROOT.
I love your thinking.
You know.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Noni.
A big shout out to my first guest for today, Miss Williams. As you've heard from her, she's from the Eastern Cape, but she's making her way here in Johannesburg. And not only is she a DJ, she's also in events and promotions, marketing, and she's in and around the entertainment space. But of course, she's also taken up her wellness program. So just go and check her out, as well as follow her on all social media platforms. Right now, though, we are going to make our way to our second interview with Miss Patty Monroe. On She Social podcast, and I have my second guest for today, Miss Patty Patty Monroe, hailing all the way from Cape Town, Cape TZ. Hey Patty, how are you, doll?
I was just trying to figure out my woe quickly.
It was a bit of a slow one there. How you doing, Miss Patty?
I started gymming today, so I'm feeling the spirits.
The spirits are with.
We've got 2 months left, and then December's here, and then nobody will be feeling that type of way on the beach. Know what I'm saying?
Today, but you're gonna feel the aches tomorrow, because it always comes the day after you start at the gym.
Nothing good comes without sacrifice, Noni. You know this. You know this. How are you doing? You look good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm trying to, look on the brighter side of things. Look on, try and stay positive, especially in this weird time, because lockdown and COVID has been so weird for the rest of the country. So that's why we're having to do interviews on Zoom. We can't necessarily do them properly the way that we'd like to. But it's great because I get to speak to you. You're all the way in Cape Town and we're still able to have this conversation. You know what I mean?
Beautiful silver linings. We do take them. We got to look on the other side, because if we're going to look at that one dimension, it's so neggy. You know what I mean? Like, you choose how you feel, and I know it's not always, happiness is not always the easiest option, but the fact that you get a choice is a blessing in itself.
Yes.
So we must just be grateful for that,
100%.
Anyway, we're here. Thank you for tuning in.
I love that you're always so positive. You're always in such good spirit. It's always so great to speak to you, because you're always just like so positive and vibey and happy to be here. You know what I mean? That's the one thing that I've always enjoyed about you, Patty. You've always looked at the positive and looked at a glass half full as opposed to half empty. How has it been for you this past lockdown, especially because things have been shaky, especially for artists in this lockdown period? Obviously, you working in the Cape Town space is completely different to maybe say Joburg, but it's still been difficult for everybody. How are you finding the glass half full? Because I'm still struggling.
So, like you said, that I don't know how it's going. I'd love to actually know how it's happening, what's happening in Josie right now. But in Cape Town, everybody must always say there's no scene in Cape Town, blah, 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 no, 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 no. Everybody's so cliquey, whatever the case may be. This year taught me to be self-reliant and to stop bitching and moaning and be about it, you know, and because of that, I joined up with this partnership up with these people, and we from the Mother City Boot Camp. So we basically did like an event where we got everybody together. We had talks, and over the weekend, and then the night we would record, and we're gonna shoot music videos. We're gonna make it into a whole movie. Like this period taught us to like come together.
Yeah.
We all wanted, man. We all like, dude, yo, I can't wait till I get maybe to America, and then you're gonna see, then I'm popping. It's popping, yeah. I really feel like Cape Town is the hottest hip hop scene right now. I can't speak for like the whole music scene because I'm not going to talk about that. I don't know. But what I do know, most excited is I don't know everything that's happening. Just the stuff that I do know. Whew. Anyway, I was stuck anywhere in the world right now. It's a blessing to be in Cape Town.
Yes, it is a blessing.
I like it here. It's whack to be South African, but it's a blessing to be alive in Cape Town. I can just look at the mountains and the ocean and things. It's good.
Yes, it's nice to kind of look on the little things that obviously keep a smile on everybody's faces. Like you're saying, the mountain, you've got the ocean, you've got just the beautiful people of Cape Town to kind of keep you positive and going. Patty, you've also just had a bit of a shake up with regards to your career as well, because I mean, you were pushing big things prior, obviously working with someone like Garrick, and then obviously
now. Last interview. You were the last interview pre-COVID, bruh. We had missions. Although you know we had you were literally the last pre-COVID, bruh.
Yeah. When I was out at the Cape Town studios at the SABC, and we had an awesome chat on air, yes. And we also spoke about your music. We spoke about your journey, where the things you kind of had to switch up a bit. You also took a slight break with regards to your career, just to kind of woosa. And then re-energize, and then come back and say, okay, I'm going independent, I'm doing this thing on my own, and I'm still going to push because I still love the music. What was so important for you to actually take that break within your career? Because you had been pushing for quite a while, and for someone to actually decide that, no, I need a couple of months just to kind of find and center myself before I can push forward again.
I'd say it was necessary, because that's how you, like we said, you burn out. We burn out, and I know some people hate this time that they had to go sit inside and cover their faces and all these things, but I know half of us are extremely grateful for this reset, this breather, this pause, take a breath. Okay, let's have some downtime quickly, or let's figure out, are we doing what we're doing because everybody else is just pushing us? And you know, when you're in the stream, everybody's just moving past you, just like, yeah, we're going this way. Do you want to go this way? Is that what you really want to do? Or you're just doing it because everybody's doing it and you don't want to be, you're so into, what's that word called? Peer pressure. You can't be your own person. You don't know how to be your own person anymore. You know what I mean? So that was essential for me. And I figured out, because I kind of stopped doing music, and then I feel like I stopped breathing. Like it don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. You guys can take it. You still my face. You're gonna see this face. Oh, you're gonna see this pretty sad. You're gonna see me still laughing, but I'm still doing this. I'm not going anywhere. I'm really not going anywhere. And just a whole lot of growing up also took place. And I'm just so glad I lived my life now, because now things not the same, you know?
Yeah.
I just got all out of my system. So, I needed, and in order for me to make new music, I need to grow. I need to love. And I think that's what that period of time was. And even this year, I feel like I grew up so much. I feel 35.
Ooh.
I'm only 25. But I feel 35.
Really?
Like my mind, and like how am I about my bag, and like the business mindset, and like, you wanna go out to do what? No, it's fine. I'll sit here, write my song. The song's gonna make me more money than you drinking the or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Like, I wanna sit here, do what I need to do. If it's about the bag, let's get it done.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Yeah, I think I'm a homebody. Lies. I'm, I'm trying the shoe on though. I'm trying the shoe on.
But I guess we're all being forced to become homebodies anyway, because we have to stay home if we want to stay healthy, if we want to stay safe, if we want to make sure that we don't contract the virus. But outside of that, we're also finding different things to kind of do while we're at home. So, like you mentioned, the last interview that we did was earlier on in the year. I think it was February, if I'm not mistaken. It was January. It was end of January, when I was out.
No, it was Feb. It was February. Because I dropped the tape in Feb.
Yeah,
I dropped Fill Your Cup in Feb.
it was the beginning of
But
February. Yes. I think it was like the 1st or the 2nd of February, if I'm not mistaken. But having come back and then saying, okay, I took my break, I'm back in the music, I'm doing this thing independently, I'm pushing my vibes, and then things have kind of now shut down for you again. Did that not kind of like pull a little bit of like energy away from you to be like, okay, I was pushing forward and now I'm being told to kind of step back again, even though you kind of had to bring yourself back into the game?
You would think that. But because I had such an early break, I had all the energy in the world. And I was like, this shit ain't gonna get me down. This shit ain't gonna get me down. I was just like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm recording. I'm putting the mic in my bedroom. I'm bought me a mic. I learned how to like edit, and like I'm learning how to record, and just I feel like everything happens for a reason. And I thought I was ready. But clearly, I think there's a saying in Portuguese, but the English translation is, before the bull comes and like headbutts you, the bull has to take a few steps back in order to get that momentum going. And I feel like that's exactly what happened to not only me, but not only artists, but to us humans living on this planet. Like, we just had to just take a step back. Whoa, check this out. I'm gonna do this right now. And I used that energy, and I kept on allowing myself to be in healthy spaces. Lying could only be in my space, but making sure that my space is a space I want to be in. Because now you can't run away. You run away to your own demons now. Now you're understanding it's not just demons on the movies anymore. It's demons living up in my head now. There's people paying rent. No, they're not, but they're taking up space. Got them out, was burning a lot of sage, a lot of people. I was getting my life together, writing it down, and just making sure that I did a lot of play, and spent time with my family, like messaging them, like keeping in contact with them. Also, and it's weird because for people that are extroverts like myself, it's tough. Because now you can't be yourself. Because that's who you know yourself as. You're this person who's probably life of the party. There is no party, babe. Now who are you?
Exactly.
Now we laugh, but that's a real thing. Like, now we have to now go deep and be like, who is that person? Who is that? Wow. 2020 knew me. And this is like, even the year 2020, it's the year of stability. And I definitely feel like, when maybe not a lot of financial stability happened this year, but mental and spiritual stability, I can say definitely. And I'm sure a lot of people can testify to that was. And who knows, that is actually like the coin we're supposed to be chasing, if you think about it. You know?
How important is spirituality for you to kind of center yourself before you either make your music, or just even for you feeling as a human being? How important is that?
Currently, right now, it's my everything. Like, now, like I said, I grew up so much this year. I changed. The person you spoke to, Cosmo, she's still there, but it's like a new, like, it's like a different layer. Like, the metamorphosis just don't stop. We keep changing, we keep growing, and it's like, now I'm even more sensitive. So now when I go out, like, the anxiety is even on like 150 now, because I'm like, wait, why are these people not wearing their masks? Wait, do you know what? Like, I'm like, damn. Oh, like, and also just like, now I don't want to stay in certain spaces longer than I should have to be. Like, once you truly value how much you are worth, no, you're never ever gonna beg anybody to want to spend time with you ever again. I feel like that's what I came to learn. And that's why I think spirituality is so important to me. And it should be to everyone else. If you can't come home and be liquor with yourself on your own, babe, stop finding, where's my soulmate? Where's my soulmate? You're swiping left, you're swiping right here. Where's my soulmate? Where's my soulmate?
Meanwhile, your soulmate is there with you. You're sitting with your soulmate as yourself. It's you finding your.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And
And once you fill your cup, then you can invite other people into your space. Now it's a party. Woo woo. Now we're popping bottles because your cup is overflowing. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I hear you. I
Yeah.
hear you. And I love the fact that you mentioned Fill Your Cup, because that is the name of your EP that you dropped on the 1st of February. And are you feeling as though your cup has been filled after releasing that project?
100%. Like 135%. Like that gave me the energy and the strength to keep on moving. I'm not gonna lie, this month is hitting me different. Like it's coming out of nowhere. Like everybody was like, oh, it's so hard. And I was like, what are you talking about? Be happy. Don't be sad. But now it's like, ooh, it's a little bit harder to be happy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. The coin game going. I was just like, damn, we need to open up. The world needs to open up. But also it's teaching me to just keep on creating, man. Keep on being happy. And that's what I'm doing. I'm making new music. I just released a new single with Raffaello Confirm. I'm about to go into studio again and drop a new tape. Not drop a new tape, but like I'm not gonna drop a tape again until the people want it. Until the people want it. And it's, yeah, man, because what's the point? You put all this into this body of work, and then the people's like I never want to be in a situation where my brand is bigger than my music. I know there's some artists where that's okay and they're okay with it and they get their money like that, but like, no, man, like I want my music to speak like for itself. I don't want, like, the brand needs to be there. We understand that, we know that, but I just don't want to be that artist. A lot of people would say, "Hey, stop it with this conscious of yours now. Conscious of yours not gonna make you money. Stop it." But I'm just like, yeah, but I want to live right then. That's very, very important. So right now I'm just pushing out singles. I'm going to start a new campaign, doing new visuals. I'm moving more into like the filming space now. Like, instead of like, I always like music videos like Michael Jackson. Like, he always inspired me. It was like always like mini movies. And I was like, I want to make movies like that. And this year has taught me to not wait for anybody to give me the opportunity. If I want to make movies like that, I need to sit and write that script. I need to sit and get these people, start talking to me. Yo, can you do this? I can do this. If you do this, come, let's work together. Let's do this. You know what I mean? So that's what I've been focusing a lot of my energy, and just like, yeah, those 7 deadly sins, that laziness and the sin of sloth, I rebuke it. Anybody watching this, I rebuke it. It's gone, babe. Get up.
It's gone.
Water. Great.
Definitely, I hear you, man. And speaking of, you've always been very conscious with your music. You've always wanted to have a message whenever your music came out. And obviously, within the hip hop space in South Africa, it's also been very shaky. Hip hop still is at the helm of its existence, but obviously, because South Africa is a very dance nation country, piano came in and kind of shook things up a little bit as well, which kind of put hip hop at a bit of a backstep. How are you feeling about the hip hop industry right now for yourself as an artist, as well as the type of hip hop that you produce?
Currently, that because we're African, obviously we're gonna love piano. We're gonna love it. It's in our blood. Our ancestors have been running and dancing around fires and circles for eons. So obviously that's why it comes so naturally to us. But hip hop has always been that weird child in the family. It's always been that child. And hip hop is an amalgamation of all the different elements joined together. So me being a hip hop artist, like, I don't feel like it's a thing. I just, because I feel like I'm a legit artist. Like, I can do anything I put my mind to. I might even, who knows, that contract is coming. I just need to speak to my distribution to be like, yo, we need a feature for this bitch. Yeah, I've been watching some YouTube videos. I'm like, I'm a piano dancer 2020. But I truly feel like, as an artist, we should be able to move with the punches. Like, Moonchild is a perfect example of that. Everybody thinks she's this type of artist, like we know her now. But if you know her and you've been following her, you know her background is jazz, her background is like, it's very different. You know, her and Busiswa came up long in the running here. It's very, very different. And you just have to choose what you want to put on the plate, what you want to dish up, what you want to eat tonight. That's, I feel like, as a true artist, you should be able to. And people call me like, oh, you were sad like you're doing this. Listen, yeah, I'm doing what I want to do. I make music, don't I? Am I not making music? Are they not dancing? So now, come now.
So
I
what's
feel
the
like people
problem?
who have the problem is we need money. We need money. Do you have money for that thing? That's the
Do you have
problem.
money? That's the first question.
Where's our 5 billion? People's going on about clicks. Where's our 5 billion though? Where's our 5 billion? Artistical things. Where's the money? I
Yeah,
think that's the problem.
that's
That's
true.
legit the problem. But we, to be honest, I feel like we're in such a good space right now. Like hip hop is healthy. I'm a piano is healthy. Drum is healthy. Everything. It's like we're in a very good space. Musically, South Africa, like that's why I'd be proud to say I'm that South African musician. But
Yes.
South African citizen, I feel a bit different about that. I've got a big fight to fight here. I don't know how the guys feel, but
Yes.
damn.
Yes, we definitely have a big fight to fight as South Africans, but I think the more we have the conversations, the more we kind of share experiences, we'll be able to understand which direction we're taking as a country and see how we can also just assist in that and kind of making sure that we create platforms like this where we can share conversations and speak to people like yourself to hear how you're working on things to make this country a better place. Patty, you've always had this love for the continent. You've always had this love for going outside of our South African borders and going to the likes of Kenya. I can see your little necklace there where you've got the African
Don't
continent.
take it off. I don't take it off. I don't take it off.
Your recent single that you've just dropped now with Raffaello's also got like an Afro beats kind of sound, and it's been influenced in that direction. Yes. Are you trying to move in that direction now with your music as well, so that you can kind of combine the rest of the continent within your offering?
100% Cosmo. That's exactly what I'm doing. And Confirm is, like I said, it's the introduction into the whole continent. Because now that South Africa knows me as hip hop artist, but the rest of the continent, it's a big continent. You think you're popping in your city? That's cool. You're popping in your city. Props to you. Babe, but there's a whole other world out there. It's a big world. It's not too big, but it's a world worth conquering. And I feel like that's the music I listen to like on a daily. I'm jamming in my jamming in my jams when I'm cooking, when I'm just want to relax. That's what I'm listening to. So it was just a natural step for me to go into that space. And also, it just makes sense because I mean, like everybody also said, like reminiscing. Like that was like one of my biggest songs. Like if people was like Patty Monroe, I like this reminiscing song of that. I like the video, so it was pretty cool. But like that whole like R&B feel, like more alternative vibe, like that there is a huge market for that. So I feel like taking that, and especially like look at Elaine that got signed now, they just boosted out of nowhere, just dropped it and was like, yo, I'm here, whether you like it or not. I'm like, who's this kid?
Yeah.
Who's this kid? All right. And it's just like taking all of these things into consideration, looking at all the players on the field and still like putting your own twist to it and becoming like who you're supposed to be as an artist. And I feel like that's what I did. And this is me being my authentic self 100%. And I've still got so much more to give you guys.
Yeah. That's all we want. All we want is more music. All we want is more vibes. And I can see you in such a positive space and you're in such a positive vibe. And of course, we're going to keep on supporting and we're going to keep on downloading. Where can people actually get the single where we can actually support the music?
So you can check it out on all digital music streaming platforms, titled Deezer, Spotify, all of them. Google Patty Monroe. Confirm Patty Monroe. Boom. We even got that tweet boost and you were like, yay or nay. How people were tweeting like also. I was like, yo, go tweet there. Go tweet there, yay. Tell them it's a yay from us. Get this shit playing. Yeah, like I feel like I have so much work to do, but sometimes you must just take a breath and just share with the people like where you at and where you are on your journey. And thank you so much for creating this platform for us so we can have these conversations in these weird ass time. But we're alive, man. We're gonna get through this. This is our fight. And we're the only people who can do it. I truly believe it. We're the right people for this mission. Our parents had their mission, their parents had this mission. This is our mission.
That's so true. I actually never thought about it like that. Like our parents had apartheid, their parents had their own fight. This is our fight, is to make sure that we maintain and we stay alive and we come together and we support each other in unity. That's, I think, is the most important thing as well, is to kind of uplift each other and spread that positivity that you have so flawlessly.
Thank you so much, Cosmo, for this opportunity. Yo, I can't wait to hug you when this is over.
I know, because it's so weird. We can't even hug each other because it's so weird. Like you see someone, you're just like, okay, well, there's my elbow because we can't necessarily.
Don't touch. I said, don't touch because you cough there in your arm now. You want to come touch me? It's a feeling thing, girl. It's a feeling thing.
Yeah, it is a feeling thing. But congrats on everything that you've done so far, Patty. I mean, like I said, it's great to see that you're still so positive. You're working independently. You're pushing your music. You're taking it over the South African borders. And you're still making sure that people know exactly who Patty Monroe is. And that's the important thing, especially during this time. So keep on pushing and we'll keep on supporting you. Where can people follow you on social media platforms so that we can catch more of your vibes?
You can follow me on TikTok.
Yeah.
You follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. It's the same handle at Miss Patty Monroe, PattyMonroe. One word, Miss Patty Monroe. And yeah, let's fall in love with ourselves. Come join me. I'm on a self-healing journey. Come with.
Thank you so much, Patty. Big love to Miss Patty Monroe for that awesome spirituality. She's just so positive about her life right now. And I think it definitely carried through in the interview. And I hope you took something out of that. So shout outs to Patty Monroe. Follow her on all social media as well as check out her brand new single, Confirm, featuring Raffaello. Thank you so much for joining me here on the She Social podcast. Join me again next week, Wednesday, where we'll have the same conversations with really awesome guests. Of course, remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications and comment as well and let me know who else you'd like me to chat to here on this platform. Catch you again next week.